I'm here today with Pat Grosse, and we're going to have a conversation about the intuitive marketer. And this is a book that Pat's written, but it's also an educational course that you can do as well. I'm going to hand it over to Pat to explain what intuitive marketer is all about.
Hi there. Yes, the intuitive marketer, I actually put that together based on my experiences in the marketing area. Now, if I said to you that in particular in the 1990s, I was part of that first wave of the modern marketing era. I worked in a unit and I was that promoted the European Union and anything sort of international as well as anything sort of UK based. And every December I would go to London and I would go to the big IT expo, and it was really interesting at the time because that was a whole progress of online information services, and at the time even being able to put a film onto a DVD was 18 months away. But what we did, I organized conferences on technology. And we used to, my conferences were bringing people from 13 of the 15 European countries at the time. So it wasn't a small event, there were quite big events in our field that we used to organize. And working with this particular unit, we were the market leader in our niche. Now, for me, it wasn't as if I came in with a marketing degree or anything like that. It was basically intuitive. It was picking up on a few things. It was learning how to write. It was being systematic, the consistency, and it was creating a brand. And even when we had the early days of desktop publishing, I was using Word as my desktop publisher, and people didn't know that. It was the way that we presented the mat or leaflets. They all had a consistency about them, they had a visual about them, etc., and we got away with it, to be honest. And so we were, as I said, what was it, the secret ingredient that made us as successful as we were? I would say four letters: food, but that's something else. Because because we were doing events, food was very high up on our agenda of what constituted quality. Because if you had good food, it tended to take the edge off of anything else that was not quite right. We used to do things like I used to say that if an event was not going to be good unless we had a disaster along the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I can guarantee we had some corkers of disasters, and actually written in the book. When I say disasters, a time when I was organising a visit to Brussels and Eurostar went on strike.
Oh, right.
The day we had a big event in London, and the day before, all the paperwork and the packs, because we used to put packs together, hadn't turned up. What do you do? What do you do in a situation? Do you know what we did?
What?
We went shopping to Harrods.
You went shopping to Harrods?
We went shopping to Harrods because there was nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
We had the post room from the university, because we were based in the university, so, checking up, and they expected it to get here by this time, but it hadn't. So the next time it could possibly arrive would be at this time. So you can't stress about it. But the sheer fact of having those stressful moments meant that by the time the event took place, we were already over it. Not over the event, but over the stress. So that's what I'm saying to you. We did quite a lot, and then over in my first 10 years when we came to Australia, I was actually still involved in technology. I just mentioned that before, that we did programs, and we were successful at what we did. They included IT conferences. Came to Australia, and I found myself IT was still following me around.
Right.
I was involved, I was sort of like brought together. There was a project back in 2005, a national trial of podcasting.
Right.
Now, we had that. We were looking at online learning back in 2003.
Mm, mm.
Um, we were doing webinars from the early, I think it was Illuminate, I think it was called, right back in the early 2000s in the education space.
Yeah, e-learning, e-learning.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was an e-learning mentor, one of 8, 9 around the state for the adult education sector for 3 years.
yeah. Well, I did e-learning back then as a teacher.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
So what I found was that I sort of I actually did go back. Well, I didn't. I decided to go and do some study, and as part of postgraduate, I did a sort of a postgraduate entry diploma on education marketing. So I wanted to find out why why we were successful. So I did it all intuitively and then went backwards to look at the theory behind the practice.
Right.
So, and so there are people out there who are intuitive marketers. They just know. Even in my own family, I've got at least two of my children are very, very good at closing sales.
Yes. Yes. And that's an amazing skill.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a skill. It's intuitive to them though. It's not something they had to learn. They were just natural at it.
Yeah.
So basically, I've come through all the twin. I started the business at the end of 2009, beginning of 2010. Made the number one mistake and didn't build marketing in from the beginning because I was bringing in the contacts I already had,
Yeah.
and then and then of course about 3 years in, I realised that I would have to do something. So I spent 3 years doing all that intensive. Yes,
But it took you 3 years to realize that.
it
Why?
took me 3 years
Why?
because that's how long it takes to dry up.
There are people you're saying that are intuitive marketers, but how do you become, or can you become, an intuitive marketer?
You have trust in yourself, to be honest, and know that you're doing something. Look, I did, as I said, I got to that, and then I started to learn. This is what the book's telling you as well. Is like we spent 3 years after that doing some intensive learning, really learning, because this was when the social media platforms started to take off as well.
Mm,
So from that whole period, 2013 to 2016, was, from my point of view, very, very intensive.
mm.
And you know what I realized at the end of it all? And again, it's in the book. I already knew it all.
But you
The,
didn't.
the tools changed. The
Yes,
tools,
yes,
that's all they are. They are tools.
yes.
If underneath it all, you know what needs to be done and you have the confidence to do it,
You've just got to find the right tools to do it with.
you use the tools to fit.
Yes, yes,
And, and if you have the mindset that they are just tools, rather than being frightened of the tools
yes,
or hold the tools in awe,
yes.
then has a different mindset on the way you work on things.
Yeah. And just use the appropriate tools for whatever it is that you're working on. Yeah.
Yes. So when I put the book together, I also had developed checklists as I went through, and it's to prove. It's a way to prove to people that they can do it.
Yes.
There
Yes.
it is. There it is. It's not this thing out there that is there for the specialists. If you've got a skill, use it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I
My
don't
skills,
agree.
my skills in the written word. So
But yes, and they are, with all the programs that you've actually written and all the programs that are actually available. So the Intuitive Marketer is a book which is available from where?
it's on every online platform. You just have to put it in because we made it available everywhere. You
Right.
could even go to a bookseller and say, "Can you buy it in?"
Yes.
Because we've done it through a platform that allows both hard copy and soft copy,
Right. Okay.
which is good.
Excellent. So that's the Intuitive Marketer. And so, Pat, where do they get in contact with you?
They can still contact us at support@thecommunityentrepreneur.com. Now, what we do, first of all, is we do have some copies here as well, and we can bring them out. But we do actually have a workshop, and what we can do in the current circumstances, we can put it online. But what we offer is under normal circumstances is what we call a lunch and learn, and I can come out and we can do a 2-hour session. And what I've put together, and I know from feedback, makes you can change the way you think about marketing for the rest of your life based on the information that I share with you during this workshop. I'm guarantee, because I've done it, I've proved it, and people can, verify that, is that I can completely change the way you think about marketing.
Good, because there's an awful lot of people out there that need to change their perception of what marketing actually is. And we're all marketers. We're all salespeople. We sell ourselves first, then we sell our products. So we're all in the marketing area in one way or another.
Yeah, and what I do is look behind the psychology.
Mm.
And I can tell you that the psychology and why people are getting you to buy from them, what it is, what are the push points.
Mm.
But what I also offer is, and this is, unique, as you know, Faye,
Mm-hmm.
is that I found something in a 90-year-old book. And with that, that's what really changes the way that you think, and it's the way that you communicate with your prospect. Now, isn't that interesting? If that doesn't get people into the workshop, I don't know what will.
And you know what? Those sort of things never change. As time goes by, that same process is met time and time and time again. So well done. And
Mm.
congratulations on your.
And I'll give another teaser here. It's never always about the pain point.
No, true. So true. Thanks, Pat. I look
No
forward
worries.
to more conversations with you.
No worries. Thank you, Faye.